Are you not entertained?
There was a time when Hollywood made movies as big as the Roman Empire.
I'm Spartacus!
Monumental in scope, the types of films that would swallow an entire afternoon. The era of the Hollywood period epic was indeed out of style for about 40 years. This was the time that came before the birth of the modern blockbuster and the imminent age of Spielberg, the blazing skyscrapers and sunken ships that ruled movie theaters from the 70s to the early 2000s. The sword and sandal genre disappeared to favor the sci-fi and visual effects revolution of modern cinema.
Strength and honor.
It was until the start of the new millennium that Ridley Scott's Gladiator made one hell of a comeback in the genre. It succeeded in touching on all the themes and scope of the period epic, while using modern filmmaking techniques to create utter impact in audiences, with great performances and grand ambition. What follows is an exploration of Gladiator, its themes and characters, as well as its influence on the film industry in the 21st century. Before the opening battle scene, Maximus grabs some dirt and rubs it in his hands. This is something he repeatedly does throughout the film, which makes it clear that he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, literally and symbolically, as well as reminding him of the peaceful life he led as a farmer. Russell Crowe seems like a throwback to the movie stars of the past, like Kirk Douglas in Spartacus, athletic without looking like a bodybuilder. The opening of the film shows us his fearlessness to ride straight into battle, leading his own army. This dirty, visceral scene sets the tone for the entire film. The hordes of extras crashing against each other reminds us of Hollywood's old days. The amazing use of Steadicam and stroboscopic editing places the viewer in the middle of the action. Things look very dark here. The scene is lit this way to symbolize how the Romans thought of the world outside of the empire.
I've seen much of the rest of the world. It is brutal and cruel and dark. Rome is the light.
But of course, the lighting here also sets the tone for the tragic unfolding of events in the movie.
Have I missed it? Have I missed the battle?
Shortly after, we're introduced to Commodus, the son of Marcus Aurelius and perhaps one of the most hated villains in film history. And even though he definitely is a total prick, what isn't usually addressed is how his character is kind of understandable. Meaning the guy was getting ready to be emperor for his entire life and suddenly he's told the job will be given to Maximus. The lack of love from his father ultimately and maybe inevitably created a monster.
He's going to announce it.
You will not be emperor. My powers will pass to Maximus.
Am I not merciful?
After the cruel unfolding of events that set the main plot in motion, the main theme of the film is revealed: revenge. Once he arrives in Rome, Maximus' entire meaning of life revolves around revenge. He decides to continue to fight as a gladiator until he can get to Commodus, who is directly responsible for the death of his family and mentor. This is the most obvious representation of the desire for vengeance in Gladiator.
I have only one more life to take. Then it is done.
Maximus doesn't enjoy killing in the arena, but every man that dies by his sword gets him one step closer to killing Commodus. Maximus isn't the only character bent on revenge though. It may seem that Commodus' sole motivation is found in politics, but the reality is he shares some of the same motivation that drives Maximus. Commodus kills his father because of his decision to make Rome a republic, refusing to make him emperor, and continuously tries to kill Maximus. In him, he sees what he never had, the love of his father and of the people.
Today I saw a slave become more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
Another major theme in Gladiator is the power even a slave can have when he has the support of the crowd.
I'm a slave. What possible difference can I make?
Commodus desperately wants to kill Maximus, but can't because he's loved by the crowd. It takes a while for Maximus to realize that even he can wield this much power. The power of the people. What Marcus Aurelius sees in him is the realization that the best politicians are the people who don't want to be politicians. There's also an irony about Rome in the film. Even though it's technically the most civilized of cities, in a way it's also uncivil, even compared to the wastelands of Africa. The most brutal combats take place here and the Colosseum, and despite the alleged peace that was to be achieved if the Romans won the opening battle, the city is divided. There is a cold war raging between Commodus and the senators. The people hate the new emperor, and his sister struggles with his incestuous tendencies. Death rules over all in ancient Rome. Maximus killed countless soldiers as a general and kills even more as a gladiator, and Commodus has whomever he pleases killed. It's a time when death is seen as the main source of entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
But it may be that what's more important than the immense body count are the reflections Maximus has about death.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
He has a deep connection to the afterlife, reflected in the opening and final scenes where he runs the wheat across his hand. At no point does he seem afraid of death, because he knows that as long as we are remembered, we will never really die.
I knew a man who once said death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back.
Maximus' death is tragic, but it also proves to be heroic and meaningful. Oddly, Commodus' death is also meaningful, as we are left to believe that it saved Rome, even if it wasn't heroic at all.
My name is Gladiator.
The film isn't the story about Maximus Decimus Meridius. It's the story about a man's struggle against decadence in his society, a man driven not by power, but by revenge and loyalty.
Shadows and dust, Maximus!
It may be the #1 reason for Hollywood's attempt at the revival of historical epics, as even Ridley Scott has attempted to recreate the same feeling several times in the past few years. But as each one of those attempts failed to live up to expectations, with each poster and every one of those movies, we are reminded of the glory of Gladiator.
They honor you, Caesar.
It's for you, Maximus. They honor you. There is one more duty that I ask of you before you go home.
What would you have me do, Caesar?
I want you to become the protector of Rome after I die.
Our great father is dead. Your emperor asked for your loyalty, Maximus.
Right until dawn, and then execute him.
Promise me that you will look after my family.
Your family will meet you in the afterlife.
I did not pay good money for you for your company. I paid it so that I could profit from your death.
Who is he?
They call him the Spaniard, sire.
The Emperor has asked for you.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
The general who became a slave. The slave who became a gladiator. The gladiator who defied an emperor.
Time for honoring yourself will soon be at an end.
Now we're free. And we'll see you again. But not yet. Not yet.
Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this video till the end. For 3 weeks we have been talking about our favorite films of the early 2000s. What is your favorite early 2000s film? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you next week.